evening, and thank you for joining us for the premiere of Blue Ridge Excursions. Excursions is a community magazine show that highlights the great things that are happening in our area. We've been out there visiting many of you, and now we'd like to share some of the many things we've seen. Let's take our first trip into the Natural Bridge, Virginia area, where horses are helping to give some very special kids a head start in life.
Because it's a lot of fun to ride on them. I went to Hoof Beats today and it was lots of fun.
What these kids may not know is that riding horses is good for them. And that's why they come here to Rockbridge County's therapeutic riding program called Hoof Beats. Hoof Beats is a nonprofit equestrian organization that provides training in horsemanship for people with disabilities.
We have about 55 students that we teach on a weekly basis. 10 are non-disabled, the rest are disabled. They range from severely, profoundly disabled to just mildly disabled.
Hoof Beats also provides classes for school children.
We were contacted by Hoof Beats to see if we would participate. And 2 years ago when I began the job, I was not aware that it was offered. The teacher prior to me was involved with the program, and I was eager to participate.
Once a week, Karen and her special education class from Natural Bridge Elementary come out for some horse therapy. And she says that the results are far-reaching and almost immediate.
The boost to their self-esteem is immeasurable. They come to this program ready to learn. They do learn, and the benefits are great. They feel successful, and in many areas that spills over into academic learning, social performance, and just a general personality enhancer.
Carol says that they try to create an environment where kids can feel a sense of accomplishment.
I want them to be able to come here and feel like they are successful somewhere. I want them to come here and have a really good time, learn something that is challenging to them, that other people will admire, that they can have something to talk about with other people, give them a lot of self-esteem, a lot of motivation. And the things that they learn here, I would like for them to be able to carry those things over into other phases of their lives. Because, you know, once you taste success, you have an idea what that is and you know what you're trying to attain someplace else.
While the horses do a lot of the work, Karen credits much of Hoof Beats' success to the people who run and staff this program.
The therapeutic aspect of riding a horse is very calming and soothing. These children come out, they're in this beautiful setting, as you can see, working with wonderful, talented people who are kind and compassionate and everything that we would want for our children. And it's like a home away from home. They are treated with respect, and any child, not only handicapped children, but any child deserves the type of therapy that's offered through a riding center.
And the kids aren't the only ones who benefit from this therapy. Trish Vaselio, Hoof Beats director, traded in a career in molecular biology to start this program.
It is the most rewarding thing I have ever done, to be able to watch the progress that some of our clients have made through the years, the bonding that they have with the horses, the partnership they form, the advances that they've made. Some of the parents have told us that their child is able to ride a bicycle for the first time because they developed the skills here on horseback.
This program, like many other nonprofits, depends on a great deal of help from the surrounding community.
This is almost 100% volunteer organization. There are only 2 paid employees, and they're only paid for a portion of the time they spend here, and those are our 2 riding instructors. Everybody else here is a volunteer.
And that leaves Hoof Beats with a lot of need.
Therapeutic riding, as a rule, is an expensive therapeutic service to offer because horses are expensive to maintain. But we've been very fortunate. We have a lot of very good support through the community, and we get surprise donations all the time.
It's the kind of community support that allows Hoof Beats to give back to the Rockbridge community in the form of smiling faces.
Yeah, it is fun. And it's fun to ride horses.
Hoof Beats is currently accepting donations. Cash or in-kind donations are tax-deductible and can be sent to Hoof Beats Therapeutic Riding Center, 20 Liberty Lane, Natural Bridge, Virginia, 24578. Hoof Beats is also looking for a variety of tack, attire, and equestrian equipment. If you have questions or would like more information about Hoof Beats or the Therapeutic Riding Center nearest you, here's how to find out more.
Trish and Carol started Hoof Beats almost 8 years ago. They say the program just gets bigger and better every year. Let's move now from a group of inspirational kids to one in particular. We'd like to introduce you to Philip "Chip" Clark. Chip is one of 12 students who were named Blue Ridge Public Television's Young Heroes. The Young Hero Award was designed to recognize young people who have overcome significant obstacles in their lives and have gone on to set a positive example for others. We'll be introducing you to this year's heroes in the coming weeks, but now let's take a look and see what Chip Clark and Mighty Mouse have in common.
Philip "Chip" Clark has had challenges in his life from the very beginning. He was born 3 months premature and weighed just over 2 pounds. Chip's parents were given very little hope that he would survive more than a few days. A battery of complications soon set in, but just when his doctors, nurses, and family began to lose hope, Chip would battle back, amazing everyone. When he was a month old, Chip developed swelling on his brain. Chip's doctors told his parents that surgery would be necessary to save his life. They would have to insert a shunt into his brain in order to relieve the swelling. However, the doctors were not optimistic.
He said we should let him just die a peaceful death, because if he did live, he would not lead a successful life.
The doctors said that he would most likely be blind and retarded, but his parents felt that Chip had so many people on his side that they had to do everything possible for him. Chip did much more than just survive the surgery. With the help of his family and a physical therapist, Chip thrived. He learned to live with cerebral palsy and continued to amaze everyone he came into contact with. He walked when doctors said he wouldn't, took up trombone in the jazz band when doctors said that he couldn't. It looked like there wasn't much that could slow Chip down.
I guess the most devastating thing that happened to me was 2 years ago when he was trying to lose weight over the summer, and he started losing a lot of weight, and he had some complications. We checked him into the hospital and we found out that he was a diabetic.
It was a discovery that left his family deeply troubled, but Chip was determined. He knew that this was something he could learn to live with.
And I was looking through my Bible one day and I found the verse in Philippians 4:13 that said, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." And I realized it's like, hey, I've got palsy, at the time I didn't have diabetes, but I had palsy. I was like, I can do this. I can live life, you know.
Chip's optimism and determination continues to inspire the people around him.
Chip is one of those students that you rarely find. He comes in the office just to say hello, and we've worked on a few things occasionally, but for the most part, Chip, goes about his own way. He doesn't ever, he faces more struggles than your average person. However, you never see that of Chip. He handles everything with the best of faith and stride, and he just goes on with it. And so when I read what you were looking for in a young hero, knowing everything that Chip has overcome, I felt he was certainly a young hero.
Hero is just a big word. I think hero is. I'm thinking Mighty Mouse, Superman, hero's not me, just, Chippy. I'm not a hero.
Though it seems that his mother would certainly disagree.
And he has lived his life challenged but not handicapped. So that's why he's my hero.
Chip himself stands as a testament to the power of faith, courage, and determination, and the fact that doctors certainly can't see into the future.
Chip will graduate from Pulaski County High School in June and plans to attend New River Community College in the fall. It's obvious that warm weather is here, and that means that many of you are spending your spare time outside. Maybe you're looking to brighten up the outside of your home, add a few flowers here and there. Well, we have just the thing. We've turned to our friends at Walter's Greenhouse in Hardee, Virginia, and asked for a little advice. Let's see what they can tell us about planting those flower pots.
Hi, I'm Rosalind Walter, and I'm from Walter's Greenhouse, going to show you how to plant a few containers today. We're going to do a large container with flowering plants for a sunny location, first of all. then we will choose to do a shade container a little later on. But let's get started. First of all, we have a good medium in here, and we're going to put a little slow-release fertilizer in so that your plants have proper nutrients. We will break the root systems up a little bit, and I will get these in the center, give them lots of growing room for the summer. Then that'll give us the height in the plant. Then we will put in some trailers to come around the edge. And that will trail down over the pot as it grows and cover the pot completely. This pot will take all the sun you can possibly give it, and it will bloom well all summer. This is another plant called Evolvus. I should have said we used marguerite daisies. This is a trailing plectranthus, and this is an Evolvus. It will fill out completely, give you lots of color all summer through till a heavy frost in the fall. All that is required is for you to feed it once a week and water it, and there you have your sun planter. And now we're going to work on making a shade planter. We have lots of different choices. What I have chosen today are some double impatiens. They look like little roses. They bloom well all summer. There again, we will locate 3 plants in the container and position them so that they have adequate space. We will, I like to put a little spike in the center for height. That's a decorative grass, and you can trim that to keep it whatever height you want. Another good trailer is an asparagus fern, and that just gives it an airy look. It will fill out and cover up the whole front and center of the container. We have a good trailer in this White Nancy. It will cover the complete bottom of the container, and it will provide you with some pretty white flowers. They are snapdragon-like flowers. It will fill in all the spaces. Now that has sufficient coverage there. We also might add this dainty little plant called lobelia, and it likes the shade. It will give you a lot of color all summer long, and it comes in various, the variety I've chosen has a mixture of colors, so it will just continuously add to that. Now there you are with a planter for the shade. It'll bloom all summer long. Here on the side we have a container with New Guinea impatiens, and they again will bloom continuously. They will last until a heavy frost in the fall. All you have to do is feed them every week and water them as necessary. Both of them take a fair amount of water, but that's an enjoyable part of looking after your plants. We do have other trailers that I will bring up that can add to any basket or pot in different situations. We have the different potato vines, the ivies, and here we have some Helcrisum vine, and we have different ones for the shade as well, rubber ivies and a basket grass, golden lizomachia, which trail. So there's a few, we have quite a few different varieties of trailers. This is a new vinca called Wojo Gem. Won the award for the 2000 year selection. Here on our right I have some other items that are for the sun. This is a trailing verbena. It does add a lot of texture to a container. Here in this area we have the light blue, and you can see how it fills in with the geraniums and the Surfina blue petunia. An excellent choice for color all summer long.
Yeah, be sure to tune in to Blue Ridge Excursions for more gardening tips coming in the next few weeks. But maybe gardening isn't for you. Maybe you are looking to get outside and try something new and exciting. We've got a great sport to tell you about. Check it out and see how the nation's oldest sport is becoming new again.
The American Indians were playing this, and Canadian Indians were playing the game of lacrosse before we even showed up. And they used to settle wars and territories. And there were no out of bounds, and I understand that the fields were sometimes miles long, and they were a lot more brutal games than what we're used to. I mean, they played seriously, and they played for land, so I'm sure the injuries were a lot more serious than they are in today's game.
It has taken some time for lacrosse to catch on at the high school level in Southwest Virginia.
Well, actually, I came in 1974 and graduated in '78. And in 1990, a couple of kids from PH approached me about getting a team started at PH, and I kind of started helping them out back then. And since then, we've grown into four area teams. And there was a void there, I guess, after I graduated in '78 to '90. North Cross had a team for a short time. A friend of mine, Doug Horn, coached that team. But it really hadn't been started in the public schools until about 1990. Lexington area, the Rockbridge School has been playing it for quite some time, probably 20 years. But yes, New River Valley has just started a club team this year, and what's feeding that's going to be Christiansburg, Blacksburg, and Auburn High School. There, a guy named Jeff Rulin is the coach down there, and this is their first year.
In this area, experienced coaches are rare in a sport that's just getting started.
I started playing lacrosse in Denver, Colorado in the 4th grade. Picked it up, my older brother played at the high school level, and I used to follow him around with my stick and throw the ball just like he did. I guess that's how I ended up out at Whittier College out in Los Angeles. Played lacrosse out there on the West Coast, and came out to Roanoke with the lacrosse team. Really liked the area, and ended up coming out here after graduation for a job, and I've been here for 7 years now.
It takes time to develop coaches and players.
I got involved in lacrosse, I guess, about three or 4 years ago. It all started at Rats. It was kind of like a club lacrosse team to help younger guys get involved with lacrosse, and it was a really neat aspect. Something I never had played or even knew of the game then, and then got involved, and I've loved it ever since.
Most of the growth has taken place in the last 2 years on the Little League level, especially at the middle school level. For the past 3 years, there are now 2 teams in the valley at the middle school level, one in this area and one in Salem. There's about 70 or 80 kids playing lacrosse across the valley, youth kids that we know of now. And it's really exploded over the past 2 to 3 years.
I started in about 6th grade when my friends and I were playing with the Rats program, and everyone just started playing.
It's the fastest sport on 2 feet. It's quick, hard hitting. Score a lot of goals. I enjoy it.
It's definitely getting better. A lot of younger guys coming up, and just real neat to see them coming up, and it's definitely getting more competitive around here.
On the college level, women have played lacrosse for quite some time, but it's just now reaching the high schools in this area.
The girls have also gotten much bigger in the last 2 to 3 years. Cave Spring now has a team, Salem has a team, the New River Valley has a team. Comprises Christiansburg High School. Patrick Henry was going to get a team this year. They had 30 girls interested for it. Had trouble finding a coach, and it was a little late. But it looks good for next year. I think they will have a team here next year.
One day, Southwest Virginia may become a regular stop for college lacrosse recruiters, but for now, Baltimore and the Northeast are their primary source for players.
Well, I'm a little biased, but I think that the Baltimore would probably have to say is the #1 hotbed. That's where home of John Hopkins in the Lacrosse Hall of Fame, and they've been playing there forever. Long Island is also Long Island, New York's a hotbed. Upstate New York, New Jersey, most of the Northeast, Connecticut's getting big now, and there's actually pockets in Virginia, Northern Virginia, and the Tidewater area. I understand that one of the best players from Virginia, University of Virginia, is from the Tidewater area.
I would definitely compare lacrosse to soccer 20 years ago now. Just with the number of kids at the youth level now that we have coming out. And just 2 years ago we started with 7 kids, and this year I have 35 in my youth program. In only a 2-year span, that's tremendous growth. You see that growth coming into the high school team now, that I have 6 freshmen off my middle school team from last year that are coming up and building. It becomes a program where these kids are playing at an earlier level. So yeah, I would say that it's like a soccer kind of explosion. Lacrosse is the fastest growing sport at the collegiate level right now for men's. And it's just the tremendous growth of the sport across the nation is incredible. I mean, you see teams all over the Midwest now. In the far west, in California, it's very big. In Colorado, it's huge. And Ohio is one of the top high school grounds now for lacrosse in the Midwest. So I think you'll see it just continue to grow. I think it's a great sport for kids to get out and get active, and they really enjoy the sport.
Are we ready? It's a combination of soccer, hockey, and football all in one. You get the hitting, you get the running of soccer, and you get stick control of hockey, and it's just a fun sport.
If you're interested in finding out more about lacrosse teams in your area, you can contact Josh Wilkinson at Rising Star Sports and Adventure Camp. The phone number, 540-774-7725. If you're looking to spend some time outdoors, there is certainly no shortage of activities for you to take part in. Right now, we'd like to show you more about one event that has brought communities all over our area together. Join us now to learn a little more about Relay for Life. And then stay tuned to see what's going on this week in your area.
This is our 7th relay here in Rockbridge County. I got involved with relay because I'm a cancer survivor. My father is a cancer survivor, my sister is a cancer survivor, and I lost 3 grandparents to cancer. And I got involved with relay when I was going through treatments approximately 2 years ago. And it was something that got me through my treatments. We're family.
Relay for Life focuses on our cancer survivors. It's a celebration of life. It's a celebration for them to be honored and to thank them for living. But then this is just a team event. It's a family event. Everybody enjoys coming out. It's fellowship, it's friendship, and for some reason everybody likes coming back for more and more.
It's a community event. It's a family-oriented type event. And people get really passionate about planning for relay. And I have found that when you work with Relay for Life volunteers, they are a non-stoppable group.
And here's your community calendar. It's a look at what's happening in your area this week. And that's all the time we have for this week's edition of Excursions. Be sure to join us again next week when we'll tell you what boiled beans have to do with Salvador Dali's artwork. And we'll show you a $1 million town in West Virginia. Thanks and good evening.
For more information about Blue Ridge Public Television and our local programs, check out our website at www.wbra.org. And if you have an interesting story that you'd like to share with us, please contact us by email at brex@wbra.org or give us a call here at the station, 540-344-0991 or toll free 888-332-7788. We're always glad to hear from our viewers. See you next week for Blue Ridge Excursions.